So my husband and, or I guess I should start with, hey guys. Hey guys. So my husband and my son are on their way out to go on a walk, and I am here. Today we're going to have a date night, so I'm about to go try to get myself together. I'm going to surprise him when he comes back by being dressed and having some makeup on because quarantine life, I have not. I've been full mom mode, full in the house, just chilling. So we'll see what I come up with. All right, so I am primed up. I always use Milk of Magnesia. Even though I'm going to be in the house, I'm going to have his makeup on for quite a bit before we actually have the date because we got to get our kid to sleep, which he has been like, he's been making sure. He's been making sure that his dad don't get to spend, I mean, guys, like he's so serious about me not being able to spend time with his dad. And I don't know, like he's in this phase where he calls me his best friend now. Oh, sorry. So I don't know if that's because he's like, no, mom is mine, or I don't know. But we're going to try to get him to sleep. So I'm going to do my makeup while him and his dad are still out on their walk. And wish me luck because I still got to do this wig too. Let's see what I come up with.
To the side at the weekend. And Mama, it came in room.
Oh, yeah?
While we went to the side, it came in room.
Oh, cool. So there's that. We'll see if I get my makeup done. Kimmy, what you doing?
I try to see you.
You trying to see Mama?
Huh?
Why?
I need a haircut.
Oh, you need a haircut? He swear he needs a haircut every day. Look at Dad back there looking like a creeper.
Daddy, Kevin needs a haircut too.
Come on, let's go, buddy. We're gonna go to the basement.
No, Kevin go with Daddy. Kevin gotta make her haircut.
You gotta make his haircut?
Maybe this weekend.
He just means he wants to spray his hair and he needs a little leave-in conditioner. Show Dad how you do it.
Daddy, Mama, we can just spray by first.
See? Get it together, Cam. Make sure his curls stay moisturized. You can identify with that, right, Dad? All right, I think that's good. I think you got enough of the juices. Now you need some berries.
Okay, touch your breast, Mama.
Okay.
Next, we need the breast. Next, we need the brushes. There we go. See?
See?
And we use that to make our clean.
Cool. You do got some curls coming through, though, with that method, Cam.
Yeah.
Cause look at his little mohawk.
Mama, look at that.
You trying to get a little Elvis curl? Babe, come look.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what? On the breast.
Yeah, I see. There's lots on the brush.
All right, cool, Cam. Let's get some leave-in conditioner.
No, we need this first.
Oh, we got to pick it out.
That was just the start, Mom.
Oh, no, I forgot. There's levels to this. Look at those curls, though. He got them curls popping. Why are you looking like that, Dad?
He's letting his soul glow.
Yeah. He ain't put no oil in it, though. It's all right. It'll dry up.
That worked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Daddy's brushing out here. Mom's got to teach him how to use the black folk brush. What kind of brush you used to use? He used to have hair, guys. What kind of brush do you use?
Typical brush.
It ain't look like that.
It wasn't that cool. Oh, it was pretty close. I didn't buy it. It was my dad's. It was some boar hair brush.
Papa had a boar.
And I
boar
would
hair
use
brush.
a pick.
Wow. I think your dad got different hair than you, though, right?
Yeah. His is my hair is fine like my mom's. My dad has thicker hair.
That's probably why your hair came out. That's a too heavy of a brush for your hair.
No,
I'm for real.
No, maybe.
He think I'm playing. You use the wrong brush, it'll mess you up. What's up? What you doing? Cam, what are you doing?
I'm making my hair.
Yeah. Are you doing a makeover?
Yeah, I was doing a makeover. Yeah.
I don't know where he got that.
Well, you look perfect, Mama.
Thanks, buddy. What'd you say?
I look perfect too.
You look perfect too.
Yeah.
Always handing my shirt. But what are we reading, Cammy?
Mr. Timmy Tom.
The what? The Happy
Tommy Hunt. Miss Happy Tommy Hunt.
Happy Tummy Hunt. One day it was so nice out that Bailey wanted to swim. This was Jonathan's favorite thing to do with his friends. But his tummy rumbled and it grumbled. I can't go, Jonathan mumbled. Bailey continued to ask Jonathan, why not? Jonathan started to feel faint and got really hot. Bailey realized her friend was quite ill. She was sad, but Bailey already knew the drill. Jonathan needed a lesson in how to eat right. Bailey would come up with a plan later that night. Do you see Jonathan anywhere?
It's down right there.
Do you see Bailey anywhere?
He's right there.
Yeah.
Baby, he in the water.
Yes.
Yeah, he at the water.
Yes, that's a swimming pool, like we go swimming.
Yeah, we go in the pool in the water.
Yeah, cool. Nails did ring on. Here we go. Wait, actually, before here we go, did you guys see, like, Cam is blocking so crazy. Like, he tried to mess up my makeup. He tried to mess up my nails. Like, when you're a mom, you have to learn how to do shit. Like, you think you know how to do stuff before you have a kid, but it's like survival of the fittest once you have a kid, because there's no way I would have had time to redo my nails, but I have to do them so they're dry in time for the date night. He was trying to mess up like my nails all climbing and jumping all over me, but it happened. Bam. Take that, Cam. Don't tell him I said that. All right, y'all. Don't tell Evan. I am definitely that wife and that girl who's like, oh, I can't wait to be surprised. I'ma just ruin it a little bit by getting a head start. My nails aren't even dry yet. What if I just ruined our date night and ate like all the sushi before he came in here? I would do it. I'm starving. I hope Cam goes to sleep super quick because I'm hungry. Hopefully I don't. Let me see. I'm gonna show you guys. It's good. Ooh. Ooh, we haven't had sushi in so long either. This is one. That's the second one. This top box goes in mine, but I'll share, I guess. And then we have the wine. We have the wine, guys. It's going down. Date night. Date night. Date night. Okay, guys, so I am officially ready. I have on my lipstick, my earrings, I painted my nails, and I actually painted my nails this color for Mrs. Ashlee recording tomorrow because I have to do that too. But I did want to take a moment to be really honest with you guys. I was totally that woman who was like, oh, when I get married, I'm never gonna like not have sex with my husband. We're always gonna date. I'm always gonna get dressed up. I'll wear makeup. Maybe not so much wear makeup and get dressed up, but I was definitely like, oh, I'm gonna be that wife. I wanted to be that wife. And we actually got married in July and then had a kid in January. So what I thought I would be like as a wife, like I hadn't considered what it would look like as a wife and a mother. But on top of that, I mean, just being a wife, like it's a lot of work and you go through phases, you have tough times, you have issues you have to work through that you considered or thought that you had considered everything and premarital counseling and just in your readiness to be a wife. I was that girl, don't worry. But there's things that happen. There's curveballs that happen and you work through it. So this is kind of cool because we don't get to go out a lot for dates anyway. And of course, with COVID-19, nobody's going out for dates, I don't think. Unless they're getting creative with them, but we haven't really had a lot of time to go out. And so we're starting to work on our date nights, like having some date nights and having some us time without our son. And so, yeah, I mean, this is our first step. That's what it takes, right? Hey guys, we're back. We're in the same clothes because that's how parent life goes. Cammy is with Aunt Mary Beth, and so we are
Aunt
taking
Mary Beth.
Aunt Mary Beth. We have discussed this. It is Aunt. Aunt is spelled A-N-T.
It's true.
So he is with Aunt Mary Beth, and we're taking full advantage. So today we're gonna do like a recap of our date night, and I have the video before this. So now we'll recap. I showed me like getting ready and stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You was out doing stuff.
I was getting ready.
You was getting food. You was doing your makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta
get it right.
Okay, so date night. You want to talk about date night? Especially since it was your date night.
It was my date night of putting it together. It was Mrs. Ashlee's.
No. It's just Ashlee.
Oh, Ashlee.
You know, I'm Mrs. Ashlee for the kids, so this was definitely not Mrs. Ashlee.
It was her request that we have a date night, which was a great idea. Hey, we've been stuck in the house. We can't go nowhere. We can't have nobody watch our kids. We got to do something. So,
Kids.
Kid.
Just kidding.
No one watch our kid. Kid. Okay. So my side is okay. That was all the instruction I got. We got to have a date night. So I'm trying to think. Okay.
You wanted more instruction?
No.
Okay.
No. So then that's me trying to say, okay, what am I going to do? Right? Got to figure out how can I have a nice romantic date night and have some food that she likes.
And that I can eat.
That she can eat. And she even had said a couple weeks ago, there's this one restaurant I really love and I wouldn't mind eating that even during COVID stuff. I wouldn't mind eating that takeout because I trust them. And I was like, okay.
Is that what I said?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I was like, okay. I know exactly which restaurant I'm going to get. And I'm already set. I'm good. I know what I've already looked at the menu. I know what food I'm going to get. It says online that they are open. I am golden. Call them up. Sorry, we are currently closed because of the COVID-19.
Who is this? What restaurant is this?
Real Seafood.
Oh, yeah, that's where we had our... You should tell them the significance of that restaurant.
So that restaurant, it was where we had our wedding reception. We've had our anniversaries there.
All
We've had
of 'em.
our birthdays there. It's honestly, plug them, great restaurant.
Yes, Real Seafood.
Real Seafood, thank you.
And
Always,
it's probably
always great.
like one of the best. It's not a lot of options in...
Yeah, it's just consistently great food. It really is.
Yeah.
And
And
not
service.
even, and I was going to say, not even the food, it's the service that really sets it out apart from everywhere. So that was going to be my plan.
I was wondering, like, why did I tell him I would eat there and he didn't get that? We'll talk about that, y'all.
So they were closed. I'm like, okay. Well, I remember seeing a list of places in Bay City that are open and you can get takeout during this stuff. So I'm like, okay, I want to have something nice for us, like a nicer meal, like we were going out. So I find another restaurant. Okay, it's on that list. Call them up. Sorry, due to COVID-19, we are currently closed. I'm like, okay, so this is not accurate. This list
This
It's
is
not
like real
accurate.
dating, though. This is.
Right.
I didn't even know all of
Yeah,
this.
I know. So I'm like, okay, we got to have it's got to be some kind of seafood, even though she's like, for this, I could have meat or whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but meat is like good meat, not like, oh, I'll have a hamburger or something.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we should tell them that. So I don't eat meat, and I stopped eating seafood and dairy for like what 2.5 months, and so now I'll eat seafood and dairy very sparingly, and I would be willing to eat meat probably like once every 2 months.
So
it makes me sick.
But yeah, it's like all those things are not like, oh, I'm trying to watch whatever. It's
Yeah.
oh, these things literally make me sick.
Yeah.
So
I don't digest them
yeah.
very well at all.
So I got to be like careful on what those things are, because it's not like, oh, I just don't want to. It's like, oh no, I'm gonna be sick for the next couple days. Okay.
Thanks for saying that, because I think people sometimes think I'm just picky.
Right.
Like, no, I will literally be in bed
Right.
sick to my stomach for days, and he don't want to have to deal with Cam by himself.
So self-preservation as well as her preservation. So, okay, the next thing is I'm like looking through all these lists of restaurants. I'm like, I'm gonna go to Yelp, because I saw that Yelp actually has a thing that says who's open. Like you can search who's open during this. So of course it's like all these bars with like grease bombs and all these kind of things, but there was an Asian fusion restaurant here that does sushi, and we love sushi. We used to have it all the time.
When
PC
we lived in Metro Detroit.
PC pre-cam.
We
used to have it. We used to have that all the time. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some sushi, get that set up. Then I got that. I looked up their menu. I figured out what it was. Looked up how late they're open, all that stuff. I even called them to make sure they were open and that how late they were, and everything was good. Okay, I'm set there. Then I'm like, okay, I know it's gonna be in the in our kitchen, because we have an eat-in kitchen. We don't have a dining room.
One day.
Now I'm like, okay, how do I make this look nice? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get some candles. So I kind of go around and I round up candles we have in various rooms of our house. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can get it so it's a nice mood, because we don't have any, like, our lights are just like pa.
Yeah, they lights.
There's no adjusting on them.
We don't have dimmers.
No dimmers.
You think you want? Well, I guess probably not up here. We don't need dimmers. Maybe in the basement one day, or no?
I don't think it's worth it.
Okay.
Anyway, so get some candles, and I get the food. I'm testing all these things while Ashlee is in the shower, because I had already put Cam to bed, I think, at that point.
Because you had to go, because the place closed at 8, and Cam go to bed at like 9:30. So you left.
I got the food, and
Did
then
I
I
put
set
Cam
it
to
up.
bed? No. I don't know. Cam was up when I was trying to do my makeup.
Yeah, you were. I was setting this up, and Cam was not around. I don't know. He must have been asleep. And you were not around. You were not around either.
Okay.
So
this is crazy. This was just like Thursday, and we can't even remember.
Right. All these days blending.
Days, hours, minutes.
Right. Is it day or is it night? That's all. It was night. It was dark. I knew that. Okay. So I get the candles, turn the lights all off, and you can't see anything. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, can I move the candles a little closer to the food and to the plates? And then I'm like, well, I was like, maybe if I took the sushi out of the containers, I could put it on a nice plate that's white, because they're in black containers.
Oh, yeah.
Then it would like be a little brighter. And then I open them up, and they're all like arranged all beautifully and have all this stuff. I'm like, well, I'm not touching those.
Yeah, they would have fell apart.
Yeah, it would have all fallen apart. There'd been this pile of whatever, and I've been like, well, it did look nice when I had it.
You would have been mad. You know, you get frustrated more than me. So you would have been mad. I'd be like, no, it's fine. It's okay. Or you would have been like, I had it planned.
Right.
It was nice in the box.
So I was like, okay, I got an idea. We have a bunch of diffusers around, And I'm like, I'm gonna set that to red and put that out. So I put it on the counter behind us so that it gave some light. Well, that wasn't enough. So then I had to end up moving it, and I put it on the table, and I had to turn it to a white light because that gave enough light there.
I did not know all of that was going on.
Then so I got the light situation set up. Also, now let's go to the music situation. Okay. So I want to have it so it's
This is where it gets real.
nice where you can listen to it and talk, but not too distracting, right? And it needs to be sexy music, but not too sexy music. Like I'm looking on playlists on Spotify, right? And it's like, okay, this is a nice dinner, and then I'll like start listening to some of the music, and they're like, Pony comes on, right?
If you
Right.
wanna.
And I'm like,
I would
okay.
have been pissed off if I would have come
Right.
up to that.
Right. And I'm like, that's not really dinner music. So while I was on I went grocery shopping.
Wait, babe,
So-
unless you was going to do your magic mic routine.
Right. Well, that was later. in my
Okay.
time.
All right, we have dinner first. Okay. We can't tell you about that.
No, so when I went to the grocery store, no, not went grocery store. I went to pick up the food and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was testing all these playlists in the car while I was driving there and kind of skipping through until I found the right one, which was like, because the dinner ones were all still not quite right. It would be like, it was almost like it was dinner for, it was either like straight up booty music or it's a family reunion. So it's like all of a sudden like some line dance song comes on or something, right?
What?
Not like country line dance. Like,
Oh,
you know
okay,
what
so
I'm
you
saying.
should say that though. What genre of music?
R&B.
Okay.
R&B.
Because they don't know. They don't know you
Yeah, yeah.
yet. They don't know
So-
if you was trying to have me listen to some country.
No, R&B.
Okay.
So you can't, so like some of those mix in a little too old stuff. So you get like,
But I like
shit.
old school.
But it's not the right old school. Ain't no stopping us now. Like
We're
that-
on the move.
Right. That comes
That would
on
get
while
so
you're like
weird.
having a nice romantic dinner,
With
right?
candlelight.
Right. Family reunion.
That's all of that.
Right.
That's all the black family
Right.
music.
No. So I found my thing, which is neo soul. For those of you who want that going forward, really good dinner music because it's like got a vibe, but it's not like, and you feel it, but it's not like distracting.
And it's had a bunch of songs that I already listen to all the time. So Bilal, Soul Sister, Daniel Caesar, what is it? Best part.
See, this is where I've relied on Spotify to hook me up.
Yeah,
I
they
just
had
I
all
can
of
hear
them.
the songs and know the mood that I know that's right for you. Because I don't know any of this.
But I played these songs for you. Did you hear some that you was like, oh yeah, she played those for me?
No.
You don't. So I think that's one of our challenges too. Like I am very much like my whole mood can be set by some music, and
Neo soul.
he be like, I don't know what they said. I didn't hear that. I'm like, babe, like listen to this. This is the most beautiful song ever. And he's like, I don't get it. You don't feel music like I do.
No, I don't. I actually have a hard time hearing lyrics, like comprehending what they're saying, and like understanding it.
Like all music?
Like all music.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like terrible with lyrics, and so I think it's something like it's even my learning. Like if someone's talking to me, I have a hard time remembering it. I have to see it written out. Like anytime I had to learn a song or something, I would always be picturing the music, pages of music.
Oh, okay.
So if I don't have that, I'm like, I can't understand what's going on.
And I am a person who writes books.
Right.
So, like, lyrics and words are so important to me, which is devastating because a lot of the songs that I listened to when I was much younger and probably too young to listen to songs, like, now I'm older and I'm hearing what they're saying. I'm like, this is not romantic. This is not sweet.
Yeah.
This is nice. Tevin Campbell was stalking people.
Even
Even like Pony, like I was like, ooh, when I'm grown, and then you listen to it, it's like someone's burping in the back the whole time. Like that's not sexy. But even Tevin Campbell, can we talk for a minute? He's like fantasizing about this girl like he's never even talked. That's stalking.
Right.
It's devastating. like all of my favorite songs. But anyway, I listen to the lyrics. I listen to the melodies. I feel it. And he don't be hearing none of the words. I be like, listen to what he said here. And he's like, it's got a good feel to it. That's just it.
Yeah.
If it has a good feel and melody.
Mm-hmm. So I got the music.
You got it down. He did.
I got it down. I got
He
a
did an excellent
speaker.
job.
I got our lights. Got our stuff.
Left the sushi in the box.
Left the sushi in the box. We were set. Oh, I picked up some wine. Got her favorite wine, my favorite wine.
I didn't even know that was your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you live and you learn.
And then Cam went to bed. I got dressed. I took a shower, got dressed. And
While I was getting dressed and doing my makeup. Finishing my makeup.
date night commenced.
Date night. Mm-hmm.
And then Ashley came out down the hall, all fine. She had her nice green dress on and heels and looked.
So
Great.
I actually debated about wearing, like, getting dressed. He was like, oh, we should get dressed and get dressed nicely. And I was like, yeah, cool, because wearing, like, sweatpants and T-shirts 90% of the time, it's like change out of one pair of pajamas into another
Right.
pair of pajamas. I
These
showered
are
today.
more socially acceptable pajamas, even though
Yeah.
they're still the same material.
Right? So when I'm FaceTiming everybody, you're up. But the cool thing was that I saw the shirt you wore to Africa. Because I wasn't sure what I was going to wear. And you wore your shirt that I got you for Africa. And so I wore the dress that I wore when we were in Africa. Remember that on my birthday?
Oh, yeah.
That was the same green dress. So it was kind of nice for me because I write books and stories. I'm very much like in my imagination 90% of the time. And so I get like connections to things better or worse based off of like clothing that we're wearing or just like remembering memories and bringing those memories into new memories. So I was like, oh, that was like, I mean, can you believe we went to Africa? Still can't believe it. So it's been like a year.
Mm-hmm. Just over.
Yeah, so I can't believe it, but like that was one of the most magical things we've done together, I think, in our marriage. Well, not, it's up there though. So I was like, we should wear, I'll wear what I wore during this very special time in our marriage. So yeah, we end up wearing like our Africa clothes. I don't know if that's the right thing to call them, but we was in Africa. That's what we wore. That's what we wore to our big dinner, to my birthday dinner. So yeah, what else? You want to tell them? Or what should we talk about? What should we tell them about the date night? The sushi was bomb.
It was very, very good.
It was, sorry guys, I'm like looking at my beans. One looks like it's turning brown, but maybe that's the vines all crawling through it. We have our little indoor garden, me and Cam, so our windowsills are taken over by plants. But the sushi was really good. There are not a lot of restaurants to choose from, period, in Bay City. This is, what you call the Tri-Cities? Is this the Tri-City area?
Yeah.
So Bay City,
Michigan,
Saginaw,
Michigan, Midland,
and Midland are the three cities, and like Midland isn't diverse at all. So
no.
And then even in Saginaw, the Mediterranean place that I like closed.
Uh-huh.
And so there's not a lot of options. I'm from Detroit, so there's
big city, small city.
Big city, small city. So we haven't eaten. We went to Saginaw to eat sushi, and it was like the idea of eating sushi than it being like.
It's like, hey, this isn't a burger.
yeah. Or I'm not cooking.
You're right.
I think that's a big thing. Like, oh, I'm not cooking. So the sushi was really good. The wine was really good. Our date night started at what, like 10?
Yeah, I was late
10?
because we got to put the Cam to bed.
Because we have a kid. But it was like 10, and then we stayed up to like 2.
Yeah, we just talked.
Yeah, that was like the latest we've been up and danced, and our plants also bring that, so I can't wait to take them outside. But anyway, we stayed up late, listened to music, we slow danced, we did like all the stuff that we don't usually do. But I'm gonna put you on blast real quick because we have to talk about this. So, do we usually have date nights?
No.
So when you get married, everybody's like, make sure you maintain your date nights. What was our dating life like, pre-marriage, pre-cam?
Oh, pre-marriage, pre-cam.
Let me get my pillow. Get in here.
Probably 2 or 3 nights a week we go on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she says.
And then, but this is funny. Like, I never told you this. I don't really like to go out and eat around other people because it's not so comfortable. Like, especially if you want to, like, just chill and talk. Of course, you get the waitresses. Like, it's their job to be attentive, but it's, like, disruptive to the
Right.
mood. Or you don't have, like, the right music, or God forbid they put us at a table with chairs instead of a booth. I always want a booth. So I don't know that I loved going out to eat. I like being courted and you spending them coins. But I don't know that I like to go out that much. So I feel like this in-home date was actually nicer for us than going out. Yeah, so we used to go out all the time. And then we got pregnant. And then we got married. We got pregnant and then we got married in like 5 weeks after.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother video. We got married quick. I had to tell him, you ain't gonna knock me up. No, that's not what happened. That is not what happened at all. My grandfather passed. And we were pregnant like the week after he passed. And we found out Mother's Day.
Yeah.
2016. Yeah, we found out I was like 3 weeks pregnant, and that was a week after my granddad passed. So Cameron actually has my granddad's middle name. But once we got pregnant, I mean, things went like really fast. We got married. We had an actual wedding in 5 weeks. We were living in the house that your parents bought. And they were like, well, we selling the house. They probably like, for black parents, this is a translation. Black parents be like, oh, if you old enough to be out here making babies, you can have your own stuff since you're so grown. And so I think it was a little bit of that. You knocking women up, you can. And they loved me, but they were like, all right, well. And your mom was probably, you were living there like 5 years.
Yeah.
So she was probably like, once they had this baby, they definitely ain't gonna go nowhere. So y'all gotta go. So your dad was pretty much living with us to get the house ready for sale. And we were house hunting at the same time. So pregnant, planning a wedding, fixing up a house, and house hunting while both having full-time jobs at the time. And I was doing summer camping after school.
Yeah.
So our little lives was crazy. So we didn't date. Like when I was pregnant, we didn't date.
Yeah.
And then we got married and we had to move and we didn't date. Because then we had Cam. And we were 2 hours away from his family, who gives us the most help. Mm-hmm. So that was tough. And yeah, I mean, we moved, 3 times in less than 2 years?
Well, we moved from Oak Park to Huntington Woods.
Harper Woods.
Harper Woods.
Ooh, we ain't got Huntington Woods money.
Then to the carriage house.
Mm-hmm.
Then to the condo, and then to our current house.
So 4.
4 times?
Yeah, 4 times in less than 2 years. So I think like now this is the longest place Cam has ever lived anywhere.
Yeah.
And that we dated the longest in Oak Park.
Yes.
In our relationship.
Yes.
And then this is the longest place we've lived in our new house.
Yep.
I guess, is it still kind of our new house? I guess it's still kind of our new house.
New
it's the newest house. So yeah, we really haven't dated a lot or had that time and space to date.
Yeah, it was like we never got the time to figure out how do we date once we have a kid. Because we were trying to fill in every time that we had someone watch Cam, it was because we needed to do work or we needed to pack up or we needed to move. It was like a necessity, not a luxury, if you will. Not that a date is not a necessity, but it was like, hey, I need someone to watch my kid because I have to do this one thing, Yeah,
and then I guess our second baby, really, like my other baby is being a children's author and running children's programs. So I started a nonprofit, but even as Mrs. Ashlee, now we record videos for them. So it would be like we would be driving 2 hours one way to Detroit to do an 1.5-hour program and then drive back. So it's like, we're like scarfing out lunch. If we eat, we had lots of times that we didn't even get to eat because we had to rush back to get Cam. So now, what do you think about the at-home dates?
I really, really, really liked it, actually. It was very nice to be here and comfortable and not worrying about, like you said, the waiter stuff or I gotta go or I gotta drive. That was for me. I got to have wine because I always have to drive. So it's like I didn't have to worry about that. kind of relaxed a little bit more. And
Do you have to drive or do you prefer to drive?
well, I prefer to drive.
And I prefer not to drive. And then, like, even with Cam, so one of the things too, like with him, so Cam is like, how do I explain it? He loves to be around other people and like have fun, but then he's sometimes like not choosy, but even now, like us all being at home together, he is real. He cried today because Evan went into the basement, and I have told my husband, like, let that kid know where you're when you're about to go somewhere, because he just, I think he's worried that you're gonna go back to work or leave, or like we're not all gonna be home anymore. So we probably need to start talking to him about that.
Yeah.
But he loves like having both of his parents at home. And even with me before then, he didn't like for me to go places.
Yeah.
So the time and energy it is spent preparing, because I'm that type of mom. Like, I want you to be prepared. I don't want to leave you crying, because if it's a traumatizing experience, like, you ain't gonna want to do this again. It's always gonna be all this crying. And so even that, I didn't realize that, like, that energy or even like that stress, even if he did just go ahead and go into grandma and papa's or going to Mary Beth's, it's like you're preparing yourself for this.
There's always that impending thing of I could get a call any second and be like, you gotta go.
Yeah, and he was just like in the bedroom sleep, so it was
Right.
perfect. Or him like thinking about he might cry, or he might not
Right.
want to go, and then I gotta persuade you, and then I gotta hold you, and you about to mess up my makeup. So it was nice, like him just being down the hall, because we would not have liked if he came out the bedroom and interrupted our date. But if he did, it's like, oh, we didn't pay a babysitter or drive anywhere.
Or to be honest, it would be like we could put him back to bed in the next 5 or 10 minutes.
True.
It's not like, oh, now that's it, we're done.
We need the check.
Right.
Give me some boxes.
And we'll be there in 45 minutes or whatever.
Yes.
You know, it's like, let's just put him back to bed.
You know something else that I really love too? This is just for me. Being able to control the freaking temperature.
Mm.
Like, that's another thing. Like, you go to these different places, and sometimes, I'd be cold. It was just enjoyable. So will we do more date nights at home?
I think the key for us for an at-home date night is takeout. That's, I feel like the thing that was different is that it was like, I'm not a cook, so it's like, okay, if I do something at home, I gotta cook. And it's like all this stress, and then I'm doing this and trying to do it with you here and all this kind of stuff. So this was like, okay, we can still have that same atmosphere of the at home, but all I gotta do is get some takeout.
Yeah, because if I cook, it's not
Right.
a date.
Right.
That's like every day. And then if you cook, so I'm all about like moods and vibes and everything. Like, he'll get frustrated about stuff, and if he gets frustrated, like, I don't even want to do it anymore, because now I'm like, you're stressed out doing this, or you're overreacting, because I'm usually like, yo, it's cool, like, just calm down. And he'll be like, I want it to be specifically like this. So I think that's a good thing, because it's like, I don't care what nobody says. When you're married, especially how old are you?
37.
And I'm 32. So, like, people, oh, they'll change this and this and that. Like, your personality is pretty much your personality, especially by the time you're like 27, 28. So it's not a matter of, oh, we'll change your personality. It's more so like, let us find these workarounds so that we can both be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think takeout, because it wasn't no mess. It was like dope. Like, we put those plates in the dishwasher and went to bed and had a good time. So what else should we tell them? Are you romantic?
No.
You gotta talk to the people about this.
So this whole thing is very much touting up my romanticness, but this was not something I do or have done. So that's why I took so much care in this, because I'm like, I don't do this. I want to take some care in trying to be romantic, because Ashlee has asked me to be romantic. And so it's not a natural thing for me. It's really not. So
why you
I just
not
say,
romantic? Tell them why not, so they can know. Somebody might be able to relate to this.
because I never saw it growing up. Like, my parents didn't like to show those kind of things.
No PDA?
In front. No PDA. Like, my dad would try to, like, kiss my mom goodnight, and she'd be like, get that cheek. And be like, she'd be looking at us like, did they see you almost try to kiss me? Even though you have 2 kids? And like,
3. He got 3.
well, he does, but she only has 2. So it's like, I don't know. So it's, you never see it's people are expect you to just, well, you know what to do
By
because
people, he
of
mean
what
me.
this. No,
You
I'm
watch
just saying
all
in
the
general.
movies?
No, no. Can I finish?
I'm sorry. Okay, guys.
In general, people say you should just know how to do these things because they're out in the world. But if you don't have people demonstrating for those things for you and seeing the positive outcomes of those, then you don't know how to just do it. It has to be something you have to work at and think about and make uh, a concerted effort. So you have to actually plan things. It's not like, oh, this is just going to happen. It's got to be something you got to think, and it's got to be something to do it, because it's not just born into what you are. You have to have that born in or made into you.
Yeah, I guess that's the same thing we talk about with our with my children's stuff, even with the nonprofit and my programming. It's all about meaningfulness for children, and I think like what you're talking about is you didn't see it be a meaningful thing because it's like, oh, not only did I not see it demonstrated, I didn't see a positive outcome. Instead, I saw the exact opposite. I saw a negative outcome. So I think for you, you'd be like, no, I'm not gonna try that because which is weird to me because I'm like, yo, I'm your wife and I carried a baby for like a long time for you. So if you do something, I'm not gonna give you the curve, like, no. But for him, he's like, well, still kind of shy with me because you're like, I don't want to try because what if she give me the cold shoulder? What if I give you the cheek when you try to kiss me goodnight? That's crazy. I didn't grow up with affectionate parents either. I remember more arguing than anything. My parents, guys, just because we friends, I'm gonna tell y'all this. Don't nobody play this for my parents. We already do not have any type of relationship, but don't play this for them. When I was probably like 12 or 13, and I remember they would close their door and light this fucking I'm gonna say like the title should have probably been fucking sweet orange candle. And you would see like the candlelight under their door, and they would have this like massage oil, and I used to literally throw up because there's nothing else you could be doing at 12. You know what goes down in the boom boom room. You are not confused, and I was just like so disgusted. I was just like, this is just too much. We'll use nonsensical things. But I did have to talk to Cam even like 3 hours before our date because he'd be blocking. He blocks. Like, we'll be sitting on the couch. This is the first time we've been able to sit on the couch this close together.
Right.
And like, he will sit right between us and move. Yeah, he don't. Do you think he's blocking you or blocking me?
He is blocking me from touching you. You are his.
Yeah, he does think I'm his.
What are you doing with my girl? That's what he'd be saying.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm. So yeah, neither one of us grew up with like affectionate parents or that display in front of us. I think your dad is really romantic from the stories you told me, but like you said, you didn't see the positive outcome of that. So this is our like first time having this type of date. You said we're gonna do it every week.
Yeah, I would like to do it every week. I think Thursday is a good day because it kind of fits in our new crazy schedule.
Norm. Yeah.
Because there's other things on other days that we got going. So, yeah, I would like to do it again. Would you?
I would like to do different types of dates too because like this time we got dressed up. And I don't think it always has to be like that, but like it was nice not watching TV because that's usually something we're like, oh, our kid is asleep. Now we should watch a show that we can actually hear, but we're half dead already.
We're just sitting there not talking to each other.
Yeah, so that was nice. But I think we could do different ones, especially if we do it every week. I'm for it.
Cool.
Anything else you want to tell the people? You want to tell the guys? You want to talk to the fellas?
Tip number 1. It's not for you. So if you don't necessarily care about something or like something on it, it doesn't matter because she does. You think some things are stupid. That's okay. She likes some things. I'm not saying
No, you can say it's fine.
Like some of these things, but I know that some of these things I would be like, it's not worth it, whatever. But if you know that she likes some things, just do it for her. That's it. That's the tip.
Because your part might come after, right?
Hey, you just got to set yourself up.
Yeah, because the next day I was like, oh, I'll watch Cam.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to go do some photography. He's a photographer, so you got to go do some photography, which you haven't had a chance to do. A little romance and thoughtfulness goes a long way. Anything else you want to tell them? Oh, you should tell them. You know what you should tell them? That it doesn't have to be expensive.
Yeah, I mean that. It was sushi this time, but it wasn't. I mean, it was like $30 for everything. So, I mean, I tell you, if we went to a restaurant, wouldn't be that. So,
Yeah.
even we could go something cheaper, even than $30, and still be set. You know, especially if you're at home, like I could just get an entree of something and then make vegetables or whatever. You know, it's like
That would be really cute. Like, do an appetizer date and get different appetizers.
oh
Where
yeah,
you
that'd
have
be
like
cute.
that would
Little
be cute.
tasting.
Yeah, that would be cute. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, you got wine, sushi, and for dessert, I'm obsessed with birthday cake.
That.
Yeah, buttercream. Guys, if you ever want to send me a cake, I like buttercream, icing, vanilla cake. Is it yellow vanilla? Yellow vanilla.
Yellow vanilla cake.
Either one.
So that was the other surprise that I got. Yeah, I got that.
And that was a big deal to me because it's like, oh, you listen, you know what I like. So I risked it all for that cake because I'm like gluten intolerant. So that was nice. I mean, it was like $60 altogether, right? 60,
no,
70?
not even that.
Less than $60.
Mm-hmm.
So I think even if you're dating or if you're married, like this is a good idea to stretch the budget. We are a one income family, and then any additional cash that I make from business, I mean, it's just icing on the cake. But yeah, I mean, it's affordable too.
Yeah. But can be nice.
But it can be nice. Mm-hmm. Put that effort in. Get some candles. If you're a guy though and you're just dating, I don't think you should just already have the candles there. You know why? Nah.
Because they know.
Because you know. If you date some dude and he got cactus blossom candles.
Hey.
Oh no, is that our neighbor?
Sounds like it.
See, our kids not. This is what kids do, right? Your kid don't be there. And the kids around the block be like, oh, they ain't got no kids. Let me make sure I make all the kid noise.
The signal has been sent out. No kids, make noise.
They need to hear all the kid noises because their kid isn't there. But I think that's it. When we have some more date nights, maybe we'll do like a little mashup thing and show like the different dates. That'll be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So, or maybe we can do a little check-in at mid-date or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. We're sending you lots of love from the Chesneys. Well, 2 of the 3. Our little 3 is gone. And anything you want to say to the people before we hang up?
Please like. Please subscribe. Please comment. Let us know. Questions. We got you.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, we will do videos as long as they're appropriate. I always like to say that. You got to set expectations. You got to let them know. Because then they might be like, oh, we didn't know that anything was off base. If we don't make a video about your question, then it probably wasn't appropriate. But we love you all the same. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Bye.
Hey guys, so the Mr. is Mr. Chesney is setting up because we have to record today for the Mrs. Ashlee channel. And I wanted to come talk to you guys about something like for my women about our date night because I didn't want him to be here to hear this. But I think it's something a lot of us need to hear as women because I was 100% sure when I dated and when I was looking for a husband that I was going to be a certain type of woman. I was always going to make sure that I was put together, had my makeup to the nines, like maybe not my makeup all the time, but I was going to look, I was going to be that wife to be like, oh yeah, that's his wife. And I wanted to look a certain way. And I was sure I was always going to have a positive attitude. I grew up in a family with lots of critical women where I was like, who would want to marry somebody like that? And so I did not want to be that woman. And so even though I am critical by nature and I work very hard to not say certain things or not act on my criticalness, it can be difficult. And so I wanted to talk from the woman's perspective of what it was like to have a date night and some of the things that I had to challenge myself to do. Because when you get married, and then if you have a kid on top of that, you as a mother, more so than a wife, but definitely as a mother, are used to having to take like the lead on a lot of things. And so to get into a place where I was able to step back, I had to consciously like do that. I had to step back and let him be in control because I did. I was like, oh, it's gonna be too dark in here. Like I peeked out the out of the room I was getting ready in. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be too dark in here. But instead of saying that, I was like, oh, just go with the flow because it was him planning a date night. And of course, it was like something I wanted him to do. So I was like, well, let me not remove the incentive for him to do it because I'm complaining. I want to tell him what to do and I'm taking over. Another thing was when we used to go out, I would always be wearing heels and have my makeup and hair done. So even though we were in the house, I was like, well, yeah, let me go ahead and put my makeup on and just wear heels. Because especially now, let me tell you, I'm not gonna hold you up. Post baby, like wearing heels is not the deal. But walking from the bedroom to the kitchen in some heels, like, listen, I will do that. I did that. And so I recommend that, like taking it back, doing some of those things that you used to do. Another thing was we slow danced. Some of the stuff that he thought to do that ended up being very nice. I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this in my head. I was like, just go ahead and do it. It turned out very nice. I am big. I am big on the aesthetics. So when you set a meal out, like I want the aesthetics to be a certain way. And I'm the one who cooks in the house. So that's always a focus of mine. But I had to remind myself once again, it's his date. So let him set up everything how he wants to set it up. And ironically enough, I don't know. I guess we get it from having to be in control, but I'm like, what? At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. So I had to take a step back and go back to being that woman who he dated, who just like went with the flow, let him take the lead, and just, yeah, I mean, when when you dating, you be smiling and just you make them feel like it's the best thing ever. So that's the vibe that I put out, and I think that hopefully it created an incentive for him and some meaningfulness behind him deciding to plan date nights. And I know it definitely is strengthening our relationship where it does feel like we're back to where we dated. So yeah, I just want to give y'all those women tips. If you have questions for me, what woman life is like once you're married, once you have kids, like drop them below in the comments. I'll record some videos. We will record I don't know if my husband will do it. Mr. Chesney might, but he might record some individual videos if you ask him appropriate questions. I'm always talking about being appropriate, but appropriate questions. Maybe he'll even record some on his own. But you'll definitely see all of us. He'll be on with me talking about different things. Cam will be on with me, and then I'll do some videos on my own. So I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, comment below. If you have any questions, drop that in the comment section. I have put our IG and Facebook individual pages in the comment box. So give us a follow. Go see what we be doing on our pictures and videos. And yeah, love you guys.